Sometimes just spending some quality time with good friends is the only therapy you need. I don't know who coined that phrase, but it is so true, especially in these times when we are social distancing. Friends are such an important part of our lives, and if you're lucky, you have at least a few from the various seasons of your life. In Proverbs, it says that a friend is always loyal, and a real friend sticks closer than a brother. In today's world of social isolation, where stress and concerns for our safety are high, having and being a true friend is more important than ever. I want to explore this whole concept a little more today, and I hope you will join me. Welcome to Longing for More, where Christians come to strengthen their faith, revive their soul, and learn to live their lives with a sense of fulfillment and peace. Listen each week to learn how to incorporate your faith into your daily activities, stop wandering through life feeling empty and unfulfilled, and begin to live your more. Let's get started. Even before these trying times, people had become isolated from one another. We no longer have backdoor friends who just walk in whenever they need to borrow a cup of sugar or they want to share life over a cup of coffee. No, nowadays we don't even call to see if people are available. We have to text to see if they're available for a call. I have a couple of friends who I literally have to text back and forth for weeks before we can find a time to schedule times when we can talk on the phone. But despite our busyness, we all need a friend who will be there to listen to our concerns, that care about what's happening in our lives, and offer a hand when we need one. If we are blessed, we may have more than one. When you think about it, we began gathering friends at a very early age. Children connect with other children almost immediately upon meeting them. Besides my siblings and cousins, I remember my first friends as being children of my parents' friends and then the boy across the street when I was growing up. When I entered school in our small town, my circle grew, and it kept getting larger and larger as I moved through grade school, high school, college, and then into the work world. I've truly been blessed with many friendships through the years. Most of my friends have been girls or are women, but there were seasons of my life where male friends were my closest confidants. I've had really, really good friends through the years. Some are the kind I know on a surface level, but many I know on a much deeper level. What I find interesting is the ones that stand out the most to me are the ones I've been through trying times with, the ones who I've survived the storms of divorce, sickness, or disappointment together, the ones who I've cried with when a loved one passed away, the ones who I've joined hands with as we stepped out of our comfort zones to do things we never would have done on our own. Some are so natural to think of as friends, and others don't seem so likely. Like the guy who picked me up and took me to the laundromat every week when I was a young single mom. Or the coworkers and coaches who became fast friends despite the differences of our ages. Some, but not all, are Bible study pals, but none are afraid to dig deep when we are trying to figure out this thing we call life. I feel fortunate to have been able to travel to many places through my years, and the further from home my travels took me, the more diverse my circle became. I have shared conversation, laughter, and meals with people of all faiths, all backgrounds, and many different philosophies of life. I love that no matter how diverse our paths are, God loves us all and commands that we love one another as He loved us. But the most important friends are the ones who I reach for when I just need to talk. Some are lunch friends, some are walking friends, and some are phone friends. Some live near and some live all the way across the country, and a couple are even all the way across the world. Thanks to technology, distance is not an issue. We can connect and share our lives via the phone or internet. In fact, one group of friends from my high school days get together regularly. We've shared weddings, babies, grandbabies, and way too many losses together. These last several months, we've occasionally been gathering on Zoom for happy hour. This forced isolation has actually brought us closer than we've been in years. It's been so much fun, and we agree that it is the best alternative until we can be together again in person. God didn't intend for us to live life alone. He wants us to share our lives so that we can support and encourage one another through the times of joy and sorrow. And in fact, it occurred to me that when he talked about shoring up treasures in heaven, he may have been talking about including friends in that. Think about it. So many things in life on earth we can't take with us when we die, but our friends and loved ones are the one thing we can ensure will be there with us. We are commanded to tell others about this treasure we have and invite them into eternity with us. In a recent devotional I read, they shared the visual where a pastor laid a rope from the pulpit all the way to the entrance in the sanctuary. The first few inches of the rope were painted red, and the rest of the rope was white. He explained that that tiny portion of red represents our life here on earth. All the rest reflects our life in heaven. The red includes the pain and suffering we will endure on our earthly life, while the white reflects the joy and peace we will have for the rest of eternity. With that perspective, is there any reason you wouldn't want to invite the people you love to join you in heaven forever? I know there are times when I talk about sin and evil in the world. I do so not to condemn, but to remind us all that we, each and every single one of us, are sinners. And yet, we have this amazing gift of salvation. When I talk about sin, it is to let you know that I want you to have that gift too. I don't bring it up with the intent to judge or condemn anyone. That is not my place. But to let you know that Jesus is my friend, my best friend, and he wants to be yours too. The gift is free, and the peace you can gain from living free from all the worries of this world is priceless. So I invite you to think about those friends God has blessed you with. Have you heard from them lately? Maybe they're struggling and need to hear from you. Pick up the phone and give them a call, or text, or walk over and have a cup of coffee with them. Wear your mask if you have to. Just be that friend that they may be needing right now. Remember, a friend is loyal and sticks closer than a brother. And I'm guessing you know someone who needs a loyal friend to offer them some love and encouragement right now. When God said, "Store up your treasures in heaven," doesn't it do your heart good to think that he likely meant to love those people he brought into your life and bring them closer to him? By doing so, you certainly are fulfilling a primary purpose of your life. I hope you are inspired to be a good friend and to reach out to someone God has been bringing into your heart lately. And if you know of someone who needs to hear this message, I ask that you please share it with them. One last thing before I leave. I have to share that I literally stopped typing while I wrote this and called a friend who I'd neglected for too long. We had a beautiful conversation, and I can honestly say that it was good therapy for me. She reminded me that it is time to stop talking about this book I plan to write someday and write it now. I'm not sure what that looks like for the podcast for certain, but I'm pretty sure that it means less regular episodes and possibly even a break for a while. If you enjoy longing for more, or if you are interested in hearing more about my journey along the way, I encourage you to subscribe to the show and then also sign up for my email so that you can get notification when shows are released and get notification when I might write a blog. And you can do all of that at my website at vonnajohnson.com. More on that next week. Until then, go, be blessed, and live your more.